Hi. Ahoy, hoy. Uh-uh. This is Eshkalar, your old friend, your old pal Eshkalar, the world's greatest Canadian wizard. And you can tell I'm Canadian because I speak Chinese. And if you don't know why that's funny, you haven't been following the Hong Kong story for long, have you? Oh, yeah. So, anyway, I want to explain something today so you'll understand, right? That I just don't go off about stuff. I have a mapness to my method. I have a Methodist madness. Something's happening, and it's very important that you know what this is. Okay, ready? Well, if you read the PatchWorld novels, if you don't, maybe you're lucky, and if you do, maybe you're even luckier. I don't know. I just live them. I don't read them. So, anyway, if you read the Patchworld novels, you will find that I'm always talking about this drug called Skonk, right? And you know, my entire reader base, what is it? One person says, well, Eshkalar, what is skunk anyway? And so I thought instead of just letting you think that I'm making stuff up as I go along, like the girl that did the Hogwarts stuff, and then forgetting what I talked about later, like the girl that did the Hogwarts stuff, because I'm too busy raking in the dough. Sorry, because I don't rake in any dough. I can concentrate on these little things, you see. I can sweat the small shit. And there's a joke there. Oh, there is a joke there. People that say don't sweat the small shit have never been constipated. So back to what I wanted to say. Skunk has a little bit to do with that. So you guys know that I'm talking about a serious drug that is so electrically, unbelievably stoning that you just can't. There's nothing like it in the world. It's not a fantasy drug, dudes. It's a real drug. But you can't have it. Ha 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 ha. True story. So here's how it goes. See, back when the Inca ruled mostly the highlands, the places you could put a cool rope bridge, right? Up in Peru and the whole, really, the north west coast of South America, you would find, right, this process that the high Incas, the Inca or the Incas themselves, were the nobles. And they had better stuff than everybody else did. So what they'd do is they would combine several substances. There's the exudate from the skin of the Colombian rainforest arrow frog. Yeah, an extremely powerful hallucinogenic. If you don't know about this, read Shan Yan's The Yanomamo, the Fierce People, and he'll tell you all about it because he made the mistake of touching one. He says, don't touch that. He went, whoa, for 3 days. He was tripping his brains out. So you think I'm kidding about this stuff? No, I'm serious. And there's nothing like skunk because you can combine all these wonderful elements. That's one, right? And another one is the white crystalline powder of the there's only enough for me plant called coca, right? And then they mix that in with the frog exudate, right? Okay, those two get mixed together. And then they got these mushrooms that grow in the highlands called mercury shooters, and they throw those in all chopped up. And then there's the bark of some kind of tree or plant or something I really can't tell because they go off on these Latin names, and I'm like, you know. So, but anyway, they got the bark of this tree too, and they put this stuff all together with some kind of, I don't know what it is. It's Southern Colombian lump leaf or something. It's something good. And it's got like purple hairs on it, so that's not so bad. And they put that all together, see? And then, get this, the Incans go to a party, right? And they snort this stuff, right? They put it all up into powder, and they fill a blowgun, because, the Incas used blowguns, so did the Mayans, so did the Aztecs. People don't realize this stuff. Where do you think that comes from? Anyway, a blowgun is a very effective weapon if you have time to use it. Nobody slaps you in the face while you're trying to aim. You got a blowgun out here. So anyway, but they'd fill up a blowgun, well, put about this much in it, right, of that powder, and then they'd go up to your nose, you stick it in your nose, the guy go, pooey, bang, oh, that would hit you. That. It would hit you. It would take you way back to a smoky cave in the real Stone Age. You'd be grooving with your Neanderthal ancestors, all stinky like, and playing with your toes because there's no television and there's no worry spinners yet. What did they do before? Oh no. Whoa. No wonder man populated the earth so quick. Anyway, So then you're so high, it seems an eternity it takes you to like climb back out of that pit where you're grooving with your ancestors, right? And you're eating the brains of your Uncle Wilmy who died of the dry shake so that you're allowed to eat his brains. But anyway, you're climbing back up. Hey, read Deadly Feast. It's the story of the guy who discovered Kuru. Anyway, and you climb up and you climb up and you get all the way up to the top, and now you're back conscious again. And your buddy goes, okay, now for the other nostril. Well, that's not Skonk yet. You ready? Well, these Inca guys are drinking all night long and they're snorting coke all night long, and they got this big nose full of like every kind of cool drug there is except for opium, right? Everything good. Oh, there's probably coffee beans up there now, right? And he's like, you're like wired out of your mind, right? You got like 2 snootfuls of this, then you're drinking and you're doing some more. You're probably drinking mushroom juice too. Like I said, they got the mercury shooter mushrooms are pretty good. And so about 4 in the morning, you walk out on the platform there, and you decide you're gonna like let off some ballast, and you like whip it out, and you start to pee, and a guy runs up with a jar and says, "Thank you." Takes that. See, now they sell that in the lowlands. They sell that in the places where the nobles don't live, down the poor town, because the poor like split that stuff up and they get stoned as fuck off it. And you think, oh, that's nasty. That tastes bad. Yeah, like there aren't any drugs like that already. Like people don't lick toads. Bleh. Buzz isn't even worth it. I don't know. I'm saying I'm talking for a friend. But anyway, well, it's like Homer Simpson said when Bart says, "Dad, are you licking toads again?" Homer says, "Well, I'm not saying I'm not licking toads." People grew up with their English teachers in the closet, I think, and they fed them dog food because they never learned any English. Oh, which is okay for me. I don't need to learn English because I'm Canadian. If you don't know why that's funny, golly, the schools have failed. So anyway, so some people take this crystallized Inca urine with all these fantastic drugs in them, right? Some of which have been processed, filtered by the Inca himself, the high Inca himself, filtered by the chosen of the gods. Yeah, all the best drugs in the world filtered into this urine. Yeah, that they're drinking down in the port town. No. You take that to the shaman, and the shaman does a thing called distilling, because he's the guy that makes the booze, and he distills it, and then he evaporates it into a solid salt, and then he chops it up into a fine powder. And it's called Skonk. So you can see it's pretty rare, or else we could just have it and nobody would be unhappy again ever. But unfortunately, there's a limited amount of Skonk in the world. There is, as many people have observed before about cocaine, only enough for me. But so now you know I'm talking about something that's real. This really went on in the Inca culture. This stuff really went on. It really happened. Yeah. So Eshkalar talks about Inca filtered Skonk. Yeah. He's talking about a real thing from your real Earth history. Skonk is real and you aren't. Oh, I love my life. I'm the world's greatest Canadian wizard. And you can tell I'm Canadian because I know that Bill Shatner knows more about horses than he knows about starships. And you might ask yourself, what does a cavalryman need with a starship? And then go to commercial.